Now, listen, you guys, one thing that is constant and consistent when it comes to the music industry and Hollywood at large is that it's always more than what meets the eye. It seems like Kerri Hilson is finally speaking up about the situation between her and Beyonce, and we're going to be talking about that. And we are also going to be discussing about the Transformer performing alongside Lil Wayne. And at the same time, the Joe Budden podcast is out there discussing the top 25 as per Billboard. And it does seem like there are certain female rappers they do feel like shouldn't have made it to the top 25. We're also going to be talking about Christina Milian, letting us know about her Rihanna, interaction back in the day. And these are some of the things that we are going to be talking about in this video. Hello, tea lovers, and welcome to the tea blog. I trust you guys are doing well, and I trust you are doing great. Personally, I am doing great, you guys. I am doing extremely amazing. And without further ado, let us dive straight into today's tea. So, first of all, let us talk about Keri Hilson and this entire Billboard situation. It seems like she is making a comeback, and I guess as part of her rolling out whatever it is she's going to be, coming up with, she decided to go for an interview at the Breakfast Club, where she made some revelations. I mean, before she has spoken about the situation, talking about how she's not the one who actually wrote the song, but in the previous interviews, she didn't get bold enough to actually name drop the people. I mean, people had to make, think pieces and all of these things and trying to basically piece together who she might have been referring to in the previous interviews. However, this time it seems like she came out all G's blazing and not protecting anyone. So, in an interview at the Breakfast Club, she then revealed that, well, it was actually Polo and basically the people who had signed her that told her to sing, that song the way that she did. She is alleging that she had written her own, vision of what she wanted to sing on the remix. However, these people told her that it's either you're going to sing these lyrics or, your career is basically not going to take off. And she is alleging that, well, another female writer who was there is the one who actually wrote that Beyonce diss. Okay, so yeah, let me know in the comment section, you guys, what you think about this entire situation. Do you believe what Kerri had to say? Do you truly believe that back in the day people were being exposed to such unfairness where people will basically threaten you with your career? Personally, I partly do believe her because one thing about the music industry is at the end of the day, we will all realize that majority of these artists that we see are just faces of the brands, faces of, whatever movement they are trying to be made to represent. They really do not have a say in their own careers, what they put out and all of these things. It's just a couple of, artists who actually do have authority on what they actually do. So a part of me does believe that, well, this woman might have been given an ultimatum to say that do this or your career is actually not going to take off. However, the Beehive is not buying it. They are saying that, well, if that entire part was actually you were forced to do it, then why did you go on for several occasions trying to shade Beyonce and Ciara unprovoked and all of these things? And yeah, I don't know, you guys. Hollywood is just a weird place. And what makes it even way more weirder is the fact that these people that she's alleging told her to sing that part went on to work with both Jay-Z and Beyonce. So that just left her in a place where she was like, okay, what's now going on? Because I mean, for you to make me sing diss tracks against these people, it must mean that you do not like them. So then why are you now going ahead and, working with them? And the wild thinker in me is now thinking, what if that entire thing was a setup? Because she is saying that they had agreed that nothing like a leak was ever going to happen in as far as that song is concerned. So she is now concerned as to why was there that leak to begin with. Now, I'm just thinking that what if it was actually a ploy to make the fans turn against her? What if the people that we're now telling her that your album is not going to come out, what if they'd already cut a deal with someone from the other side to say, okay, this upcoming lady is a threat? Okay, now how do we thwart this threat? Well, the one way to do it is to make her diss, the girl that's seemingly on the top, and then when that happens, obviously the fans are just going to look at her sideways. Maybe that was just a way of them making sure that she's not gonna go ahead with the career, because it doesn't make any sense why the same people, if it's indeed actually true, it doesn't make any sense why those people would then go ahead to work with Beyonce, whom they had the young lady speak against. But anyway, let me insert what she had to say, and then I'll catch you guys after that.
The one problem with being an artist is that nobody believes that y'all are real people. And so when you are going through real things, nobody will take that into consideration. It's more entertaining for them to be like, the Beehive ran her out of town.
Right, that's way more entertaining.
Yeah.
Now today, at this point, are you looking like when you look back at that? And people will bring it up, so I'm sure you're kind of preparing yourself for that. How do you not even explain it, but like, how do you look back on that? What are your comments on it now, so far removed from it?
It's a regret. It's a regret, but not in the way that people would think, because that's a song that I actually didn't write. Those are not my words. I was on tour. Polo wanted me to do a remix to Turning Me On. He had produced the record, and I wasn't, because I was on tour with Lil Wayne, I wasn't able to like lay anything down. He had been on me for a couple of weeks about we need to do a remix. Okay, so I take off. It wasn't happening quick enough for him. I take off, we fly in, and he had another writer in our camp at the time. He had her write this, so he played it for me like, this is the remix, because I'm thinking I'm coming in to go write a remix to Turning Me On. Like, the whole time I had been writing concepts, like, but I come into the studio and he plays me this verse, and I'm like, automatically, I'm like, I'm not saying that. That was my position. So I tried to fight him on it, and I began writing my own. That's what I did with my time there, but I want to be careful with the word I use. It was quite forceful. You know what I mean?
In an executive artist way?
Yeah, in an executive artist way only. Involving others and kind of threatening my career in a sense, in a real sense. Like, you're not coming, because my album wasn't out yet. So it was like, you're not coming out if you don't do this. And the mistake that I made was not continuing to fight. But I was in tears. I was crying. I was adamant that I did not want to do that.
And for people that don't know, you were signed to Polo.
I was signed to Polo and Timbaland.
Correct.
Yep, in a joint venture at Interscope Records.
Yep.
And I was young. I was super young. I felt I had no power. I felt I had no choice. But I did record my version, which had nothing like that in it. It was on subject. The song is about men. And it leaked like days after I did it, but he promised me that wouldn't happen. So it leaked. And that was that. And I protected him. I protected the girl that wrote it, who went on to become famous. I protected everyone in the story. So I had to eat that. And I am still eating it to this day. But that is definitely a regret of not fighting even stronger. But again, when your career is on the line and they make it that be the way that you perceive the situation, not perceive, but it was pretty clear. But when you're that young, you're just kind of like, fuck.
Maybe they know better than me.
Right.
Yeah. What did Timbaland say?
I think he just went because they were partners. I think he just went along, but I didn't I don't remember that we involved him or that he was involved at all because he hadn't produced that record. But I wonder now. I would love to ask him, like, what did you think about that? What I do know is he went on to work with B and J,
So did Polo
and tour with him, and so did Polo. And I would say, Kerri the human was looking at Keri Hilson the artist like, you deserve that shit. You should have fought harder. You know, I understood it. I got it.
Give yourself grace, though.
Absolutely.
Well, it's tough to do because I held on to not again.
Girl, every time we together. It's
Yeah,
okay. I got
please.
you, sis.
But
Because Lauren, her wig smells like onions.
First of all,
thank you for making
whatever
me laugh.
makes you laugh.
Thank
Yes,
you,
go ahead.
thank you. That was I
Can't
felt
say
that.
it wasn't true though, but go ahead.
Y'all are crazy. But that is what give myself grace. Yeah. I do now. I do. I have forgiven myself. But that's what it goes back to, the shame that I felt for so long. So I just felt like that was such an ungraceful mistake to make, or to be forced to do. And to not stand up for myself. That was the shame that I wore, was like, I should have fought harder. Should have fought harder. I should have fought harder. I should never have done it. I should never have recorded that. I should have outed them well before now. I should have, you know what I mean? And I still am protecting the writer because I feel like she might have been doing what she was told to do. I hope that.
Well, there you heard that, you guys. There you heard that. Now, moving on to the next thing that we are going to be talking about, we're going to talk about Lil Wayne and the Transformer. It seems like they are going to be performing at the same event, at the Revolve Festival. And she's going to be performing with alongside Lil Wayne, Tiger, and Uncle Waffles. I see Uncle Waffles there is going to be there. And a couple of other people, including the Transformer. And it seems like she's super excited about this entire thing. And let's see how everything is going to play out. Now, moving on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about, we're going to talk about Christina Milian. She is out here letting us know about an interaction, or like the time that she hung out with a certain R&B and pop star. And without even mentioning a name, a lot of people are already saying this is giving Rihanna vibes. She narrates a story in a recent interview where, this boss B was just basically being a boss B and was telling the dancers to keep dancing and F up and shut the F up. What did I just say? So let me insert what Christina Milian had to say, and then I'll catch you guys after that.
How did we end up there? Somehow we end up going with a very popular R&B pop star to a strip club. Is that where we started? How we end up there?
Amen.
Go, Bill. Say it. Just say the beginning of it.
No names.
Jay-Z and Coldplay were playing.
Oh.
They're not in the part of the story, but they were there at the,
Okay.
So we see everybody, like all the hottest stars are at this big cosmopolitan, New Year's night thing. And somehow we end up around this other star. She's a female. She's pretty dope. And we all decide somehow we're all going to the strip club. And she's like, come on, let's go. So she's got, the big SUV trucks. We all clamor in. We're stuffed in there like sausages. And she's like, she's the boss, by the way. And she gets us all inside of the car. We get to the strip club. We're at the strip club having a really good time. By then we've had multiple shots. There's people smoking, a little everything. She decides she's done with the strip club. We were going to bring the strip club back to her hotel room.
Yeah.
So everybody gets back in the car. She's really cool, by the way. And we get in the car. We go to her penthouse suite that she has at the hotel. And we're just in awe of all we're watching. And she's such a boss. She's walking around the room. She's got stacks of singles in her pocket. And she hasn't shared it. And she brought the strippers back. So these female strippers come back, And so they're shaking their butt everywhere. Ass and but nobody's paying attention to them. There's just like music playing out loud. People are smoking a little weed, you know what I mean? And we're all talking, just having a good time. But the strippers are doing stuff, but they're not getting paid anything. She has the money, but she hasn't, it's in the cut. So eventually the strippers are like, oh my God, they're starting to get bored because no one's paying attention to them. So they go up to this girl and they're like, so-and-so, we're going to leave because, everybody Billy, you have to tell it. Come on, say it. You have to say what she says, okay? You're going to say it. So we're going to leave because nobody's paying attention to us, and they're holding their clothes in their hand. And she says,
Shut the fuck up and
Well, there you heard that. Immediately when I heard especially the accent at the end, I was like, it has to be Rihanna, in my own opinion. Let me know in the comment section if you do agree that the entire story and how everything happened is absolutely giving Rihanna. Now, moving on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about, it seems like the Billboard Top 25 Greatest Female Rappers of All Time list is, causing quite the chaos and commotion in the streets because the Joe Budden podcast decided to sit down and discuss this list. What I can tell you is that it seems like nobody was disputing with number one. Okay, to the point where they were like, listen, we're not even going to waste time talking about all of this. However, the debate was there when it comes to people like Doechii. It seems like they are expressing that such people should not have made the list because they barely have proved anything in as far as some of the elements that they claim the criteria was based on. For example, longevity. Like, how can you say somebody who is like 3 or 4 years in the game has already proven that they are going to stay forever? They haven't made that much impact, or they haven't proven their longevity, that much for you to be out here putting them amongst the greats. So that's Joe's perspective. And it seems like some of them really do not feel like number two was deserving as well. And some people feel like Lauryn Hill. Lately, like I told you in my previous videos, I'm seeing a shift with people beginning to dethrone Lauryn Hill from the place that they had placed her. They are basically expressing that, well, it is giving overrated. So it's getting interesting really in the female rap streets. So yeah, I will insert what the Joe Budden podcast had to say about this entire situation, and do let me know if you agree with this. So that being said, thank you very much, you guys, for watching. And thank you very much for making it this far. If you have not already, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button and do turn on the notification bell so that you will be notified each and every time that I post. And if you have not subscribed to Instant Brew, there is a new video that is up. It's basically sausage tales of the inner chambers, tales of the inner underwear, undergarments of the inside chambers. That's what we're going to be talking about, and we'll be discussing how we ended up in that group chat. Until my next one, see you.
So that's just a lit time to have.
Hell yeah.
Out there right now. So shout out to them. What else?
Well,
Anything else?
Y'all see this Billboard list?
Oh, I saw it. It wasn't the worst of lists.
I didn't see it.
I didn't agree with it, but it wasn't the worst. Sometimes they'd be so egregious, I'd be like, y'all shouldn't even be allowed to talk about this.
What was the list?
The top 25 women rappers of all time.
Why do we always let them do it to us?
Yeah.
It's part of our job.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it if this is early in the show for it, but
I saw the list and then I was like, here we go. And then I said, you know what? Talk about it. Why not?
What did you think of it, Ice?
I saw some old names that were there that shouldn't be there, and some names that were not there that should have been there.
For me, it was also it was more the order of. I'm trying to pull up list up now. It was the order of.
I got it.
You got it. Read it. It was the order of the people for me more than who was on it. Although there were two names I thought should have been on there.
25 is Tierra Whack. 24 is Doechii.
Okay.
23 is 22 is Lady of Rage, 21 is Glorilla, 20 is Moni Love, 19 is Lotto, 18 is Remy Ma, that's some bull. Keep going. 17 is Rhapsody, some more bull. 16 is Doja, 15 is Meg, 14 is Left Eye, 13 is Trina, 12 is The Brat, 11 is Cardi, 10 is Foxy Brown.
Oh, that seems a little low too, but carry on.
10 is Foxy, 9 is Eve, 8 is Roxanne Shante, 7 is Salt and Pepper, 6 MC Light, 5 Queen Latifah, 4 Little Kim, 3 Lauryn Hill, 3 Lauryn Hill, 2 Missy Elliott, and 1 Nicki Minaj.
And before we react, let me give you their criteria, because it's always
That's important. Yeah, okay.
All right, so the criteria is body of work / achievements, and they put that as charted singles and albums, gold, platinum certifications. Cultural impact / influence, longevity, lyrics, and flow. That's the criteria to come up with this list.
I'm not mad at Nicki being number one.
And Nicki-
Missy
I'm not
being
mad at-
number two.
Nicki is number
I'm not
one.
mad at
I'm
those.
not mad at that.
I'm not mad at those two.
I'm not mad at that.
Lauren, I love Lauren, but
I'm not mad at that.
okay.
Because look who she sits behind.
Okay.
So
I just think she's got more singing songs than she got rapping songs.
Way
So
more.
I wouldn't put her necessarily
Way more.
that high. I would put her on the list, of course.
She'd be high on the singers list
But see,
with that
yeah.
same criteria.
Her album that she rapped on went diamond.
2 of them.
She has 3 albums that she
I'm
rapped
about to
on.
say.
2 diamond albums.
Right.
Hard to argue against it is all I'm saying.
Cultural impact.
But and I feel like we've done that here
We
before.
have,
We
yeah,
have.
that's why
Come on,
I'm-
we-
I'm-
going.
And I would
Keep
have her on there. I would just have her a little bit lower. That's all.
Lower.
Got it.
I'm not saying at the end of the list or
That
anything. I'm
5,
just-
read the 2 right after.
I'm not gonna hold you. It's not a
Kim,
bad 5.
Queen Latifah.
That's why I said
MC Light, Salt and Pepper, Roxanne Shante E. Foxy Brown is 10. I would have her.
Foxy
higher
Brown
person.
goes way higher, but that top 4, I would just put Foxy in the top 5.
Really?
Foxy,
Yeah.
100%
I agree.
is a top 5.
You can't, because who you gonna take out?
You got to take out Missy. To me, Missy's too high, but
Hell no. Missy is
You get what I'm saying? To put Foxy in the top 5, because again, we come from the Foxy era. Who do you take out that top 5?
I'm taking
5?
Lauren out.
Who's 5?
Yeah, I'm pushing Lauren back. That's all.
Nicki is 1.
I didn't ask you that. I said who's 5.
No, I'm about to tell you. Nicki
I know
is
who's number 5. Sorry.
Queen Latifah.
Who was number 2?
and see, I can't take.
Can't take Queen Latifah out of that.
Well, I can't because I'm from New Jersey.
No, not just that. The cultural impact that Queen Latifah, it wouldn't be a bunch of these people if it's no
And
Queen
charting
Latifah.
singles, and I mean, to me, it's just that the same criteria that would push
I'm
Lauren.
from Jersey, so I'm not going to do it with you.
That's fair. I'm from Philly. I'm happy.
I can hear what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
I just feel like whatever criteria pushes Lauren down would also push Left Eye down, would also push Missy down. I'm not against any of those people. I think they're extraordinary, but I'm just saying, if we're saying Missy's the number 2 woman rapper of all time, a lot of her influence was not from the bars; it was from the songs she made. And Missy's is like a all around amazing artist.
Missy deserves all that y'all give Lauren.
Yes, I think that's right. I just don't know if I'd have her as number 2 on my rapper list.
Missy ain't done enough rapping at all.
Yes.
That yow. With respect to her pen and her albums and her artistry.
Creativity.
That's where she gets to that creativity.
The
artistry.
rapping part. But she raps.
She does rap.
But not enough to
But
be the
she
number 2 rapper of all
sings-
time.
Not exactly.
Is she
I'm not
is she
mad.
writing with a pen?
That's a good point. That's a good
If
point.
she's writing with a pen, you want her before the other rest of them.
Yeah.
Just maybe not as a rapper.
Right.
I don't have no problem with this top 5 shit. My argument comes later in the list. I'm looking for Bahamadia. Like I'm
I was
looking.
gonna say, yeah.
Ron
who-
Digga is the
I was
Aria.
gonna say, who
Yeah.
else
Aria
was
now.
left out?
Mia X. I said it
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
People
Thank
laugh at me about it.
I
I'm
don't
looking.
play
There's names
about
I'm looking for.
the Philadelphia female MCs. I don't play about.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jean Grey is a
Shauna.
better rapper than half that.
To me,
list.
Jean Grey should be on this
Jean Grey
list,
should
and no name should be on this list.
But when you
Jean
start
Grey
looking at the rest of the criteria,
Shauna.
I understand.
I understand why, but that's why I don't like the criteria. Because Jean Grey, to me, if we just talking about pure talent, this might be another wild take, but
No? She can rap with
I don't know anybody on this list that can rap better than Jean Grey. Quite frankly,
Rhapsody.
I wouldn't fight that, but I'm saying they in the same conversation.
Jean Grey different.
Yeah, Jean Grey is different. I don't know nobody that rap better than Jean Grey.
But with the criteria,
I get it.
outside of bars, you don't have nothing else that's going to meet the criteria.
And that's why I don't love the criteria a little
Gotcha.
bit. You know what I mean? Because
what I'm
now somebody who's extraordinary rapper like Jean Grey is not on the list.
She's a
Mark,
monster.
who would you take off the list?
I would take off. I hate taking people off because then it seems like a diss.
Not really.
I don't know the girl.
I'm taking Doechii
Like
off the
20.
list. I'll say it.
It's too early.
I'm not taking
It's
Doechii.
way
off.
too early.
I'm not
Way
mad at that.
too
Tierra
early.
Whack, too. I like.
100% has to be off the list. Tierra Whack,
Yes.
I'm not mad at that either.
I
It's
would
too
take Tierra
early
Whack.
for
It's
these
too
people.
early. Yeah, it's too early.
But you can't take Doechii off and leave Lady of Rage on.
I was about to say, yeah.
Wait, why not?
Name, all right, no. Hold on. Somebody, name 3 Lady of Rage songs.
Not fair.
Name 2 Lady Lady of
is
Rage
fair.
songs.
That's actually fair.
It's not
that's
fair.
not
We
fair.
could be aware of Lady of Rage's contribution, which was
I know
more
verses,
than just.
but I know one
Which
song.
was more than just.
Tell me what it was.
Lady of Rage
She was
solo
the female,
songs.
She was the
She was in
female
a group.
representation of the whole West Coast at one point.
Mm-hmm.
That's a contribution to hip hop that some of these people have not paid.
Yeah, that's why I think she should be like number 26. I think she,
Lady of Rage make the list just off the Steve Harvey show.
Afro Puffs.
Whatever the fuck
Rock
shit.
on with your bad
I'm about to say,
self.
everybody knows Afro Puffs,
Oh,
and you
shit.
can't name another song.
Yo not
Is she
on
from
here.
Farmville, huh? She from
Yo-Yo is another one.
Yo not on here.
Yo, not. This is what I'm saying. How the about West Coast representation of women? It's not Lady of Rage. It's Yo-Yo.
Name me two Yo-Yo songs.
Lady of Rage got up there because let's tell the
Name
truth.
me two Yo-Yo songs.
You can't play with my Yo-Yo.
And
don't try to play me out. Now she on the. Can she on the? I want to be down remix.
Yep.
That's a classic verse.
I'll be your hotel. Yeah.
That's a classic verse. That's two.
Rage is on.
That's,
Rod
she
Digger
got
should
twice
be
as
on this
many.
list.
Rod Digger should.
Rod Digger should absolutely be on the list.
Rod Digger should definitely
Rod
be on
Digger
this list.
definitely needs to be on.
Where should
Because
Remy
she
be
actually
placed?
has some platinum singles, whether it's a
Yeah.
feature or whatever you want to say.
Ass off.
Where do you guys
Yeah.
think that Remy should be placed on this list? Because she's
Higher.
really low.
Higher than 18.
Yeah.
Higher than 18.
Like top 10?
No. But higher, maybe 11.
I was gonna say maybe around 13, 11, somewhere in there.
Is
Definitely
Roxanne,
higher than that list though.
is Roxanne Shante too high?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Respectfully.
I hate to say that,
No.
but yes.
Respectfully.
You think she shouldn't be? You think Foxy Brown should be lower than
Her
Roxanne
impact
Shante?
is major.
We
What
will
I'm
not
telling
spend
you,
another
bro.
5 seconds on Roxanne Shante. It's 2025, almost 2026. I'm just telling y'all.
If that's the
enough.
case,
That's why she should be on the list, though.
But listen, if that's the case, then you can't say Salt and Pepper should be 7.
I don't think Salt and Pepper should be 7th. I do not think that Salt and Pepper should be above. It's but you're asking me, and I wouldn't go to Billboard for mine. I would have the argument with people that know the shit. But I'm putting Foxy Brown before Salt and Pepper. I know
I'm
you
not doing
can't.
that.
And I
I'm
love
not
it.
doing
Ask y'all. I know that it's not appropriate to say.
Can't. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
telling y'all me.
It's not a crazy take, but I don't agree with it. But it's not crazy.
either.
No. Nope.
Bro, without some of these people, there is no Foxy Brown.
But that's like,
And
what
there's
numbers can
impact right there.
Well, I'm never taking away from their impact. I don't think that Foxy Brown is off the Salt and Pepper lineage. I don't.
She definitely is.
How?
What are you talking about?
Just what's the difference? She's a girl rapper. What other way is she off the Salt and Pepper lineage?
Embracing.
shoot.
You got it. You got it.
What a man.
Before that.
No.
even before
And-
that.
Y'all
Push
got-
it.
I said y'all got
Foxy
it.
not just that,
No,
you talking about
I agree. I'm joking, but no, I don't think they're the same lineage. I think there's a very clear Foxy Brown. Like we know who the children of Foxy and Kim are, right? Like it's very
right.
clear. We know who the children of Latifah are. I don't see Foxy and Salt and Pepper being in the same lineage, but there is a way that they just open the door for everybody as just pioneers.
And I'll admit that I'm probably way more of a Foxy fan than most.
I love Foxy Brown too,
Bro, but
I think she should be high.
Salt and Pepper, Salt and
And that
Pepper
last
had
album,
commercial smashes
Yeah.
in the early 80s, dog, when females in hip hop wasn't a thing.
Yeah, I mean they got some of the
And they
biggest
got
hits on this
longevity.
list.
Yeah, like what we talking
Ain't
about?
no hit better than Shoop or what I mean. I mean they still play that shit on TV
Push
now.
it.
Push
it.
What?
Yeah.
Tramp. They have
they got
records.
yeah.
Yeah, no, they got a lot of
Can't do
records.
that to Salt and Pepper.
Let's go, man. And say tramp. They made tramp.
Yeah, man.
I love that song.
But Philly's well represented on this list.
man,
Left Eye,
I agree with
Tierra
you.
Whack.
Bring
I'm
Foxy.
happy with that.
Foxy need to be at least 5.